Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a very quick look at the Derwent Artbars. This is a product that I've not used before and decided to treat myself to the other day. So although they've been around for some time, I've not had them before, and you know, we can't have every single product that's on the market because, as you know, art materials are quite costly. But every now and again I decide to treat myself to something new. So I just picked the set of 24, but there were absolutely loads of beautiful colours in the shop. You can buy them singly as well, so it looks like a good product for getting a wide colour range. Now it says on here that the water soluble wax bar for creative marks and texture, so that sort of attracted me as well, that you can make some nice marks and texture with them. And the fact that the water soluble seems to be a bit wrong in a way, because the wax, so wax and water you wouldn't have thought go together, so we'll see how we get on with that. So other than that, on the tin it doesn't say too much. On the back it just tells you a few techniques about using them with water and blending them and building them up. You can spray them with water and scrape them off to bring back the layers. So let's have a look inside. So again, in here it just tells you a little bit about the different colours, and it sets them, the way it sets the colours out. So let's have a look at that. So the colours are set out in 4 sections, and we've got the very bright ones here. These are much more natural earth tones. We've got some pastel tones, and then much more neutral darker colours, and the white there. So a good set of colours for the set of 24 to get us going. So I'll just get this film off if I can. Whoops. Making a job of that, aren't I? There we go. Put that out of the way. And we'll take a look at the shape of them. So the triangular shape, and I presume that's so that we can make lots of nice lines, so we'll be able to use the side or the tip to you know, make marks with them. And they actually feel, I don't know, I was expecting them to feel more waxy than that, to be honest with you. They feel quite hard and quite firm, and not perhaps as waxy as I thought, but they are coming off on my thumb, so and that does feel a little bit waxy. So let's get some paper and have a go with them. So I'm going to use them on a mixed media paper. I'll just see if that's still in. I'll move the tin lid out of the way and see if you can still see that. Just move it across a bit, and we'll just have a little bit of a play with them to begin with and see what sort of marks we can make. So I'll pick a nice strong colour that's going to show up to the camera. So that's got a little bit missing off the end of it actually, hasn't it? So that's not going to be as easy to make nice marks with, and off that end as well. So a little chunk off either end, so that's not a great start. I've picked the wrong colour there. So we'll be able to use the side to make a nice straight line, and of course we could use the tips, and again you're not going to get much of a different line. So what that line was with the side and that was with the tip, and of course we could try the end as well and build up some colour. Now I'm assuming that they will blend because they're supposed to be wax, so let's have a look. And only just blending. Perhaps they need to warm up a little bit under my finger there. I was expecting them to be, you know, to move a little bit more than that with the blending. There's not much coming off on there, but a nice feel to them, sort of silky. You know, they're not messy at all. So let's try blending another colour on top of that one and building that colour up. So they're sort of blending together, but not as much as I would have hoped. So maybe we need to get some water on to get them properly blended. Let's just get another layer on. See, we're going much more opaque now with the next layer. Maybe because I'm going over that same bit of paper, I'm warming it up. Yeah, it's that those bottom layers, can you see how they're blending much more now? I'm sure that's because my finger's warming the paper up and the wax up. Different altogether, and that's a really nice waxy feel and making a nice finish. I'm not sure if that's going to show up too much to the camera, but it's a nice sort of shiny finish to it. So I'll get another colour and try it over the other end. And again, I'll press on quite hard, so it's going to depend as well how hard you press on, and blend that in a little bit. And then let's see if we can do this scraping off technique that they suggest that we do. Yeah, so you can see if you scrape the blue off there, the red's still showing from underneath. So you can imagine we can get all sorts of fun effects using them in that way. And these little bits that are scraping off here, can you see? You could put them on another area of your picture and use them in another area. So far, yeah, I do like those. They're going to take a little bit of working into the paper. As you know, I work quite quickly and I like quite immediate results, so having to work away and blend things together and layering things up slowly isn't always the easiest for me because I'm quite impatient. So it really depends how you work. So again, we'll try a few different lines. So you can get some nice shapes using the tip and the corner and the end. It's a nice colour, that one. And I hadn't thought to look to see if they've got the colours marked on them. Yeah, so they've got the colours there. I mean, that says alizarin, but it doesn't look like alizarin to me. Again, I'll blend that in with my finger. It's a lovely bright colour. I'm hoping that that colour shows up well to you. And let's see what happens if we put a much paler colour over the top of it, if it'll cover up. In fact, we could do this with this bit as well. So yeah, you can see how that's blending together to make a different tone of that same colour, having that lighter one on the top. And again over here, put some over and blend them together. So we're going to get some lovely colours with those. And you can see they haven't, oh, that one snapped a little bit there. You know, when I'm using the Inktense, all my Inktense are all snapped. These aren't as brittle as the Inktense. They feel much softer. So just having a play. Again, we'll just see about taking this. So you see you've got the purple underneath, and these bits that come off you can add to your picture somewhere else. See how it's curling off there. So let's now have a look at what happens with the water, because it says that the water's soluble. So we'll do on some of these lines where we've, well, that's nice, isn't it, how it's all coming out from that line. And we'll see how the colours blend together. So with just a little bit of water, you can make quite a nice wash. Let's have a look at this purple. And if you've gone too heavy, actually you could nearly lift it off, couldn't you? Let's see what happens. Now I've wet all that purple that was on there quite heavily. Let's see what happens if we put some tissue paper on and lift that off. Yeah, so if you've gone too dark, you can easily get that back to being a little bit lighter as well. Let's just go back over that. Let's try another colour. Some of these earthy colours, nice brown. And we'll have a go this time with squirting with the water bottle and see what happens if we move it around a little. So if you have a nice good quality paper where you can use plenty of water, you're going to get some interesting effects doing it like that. You see all that colour that's come out of them there. You can always manipulate it with a tissue or your brush or whatever. So let's see what happens now when we put the colour into the water. So let's get a nice strong colour again. Go this blue. So what does that one say? Primary blue. And they're sort of melting a little bit into the water there, onto the paper. So you could mix these colours together, wet in wet as well. Then perhaps get your brush. See how those two colours together have made that nice grey. So that's a nice colour you might want to use if in doing a landscape or something like that perhaps. So we're going to be able to do some nice colour mixing as well with these. And see these nice effects where we've just sprayed and then not done, just sprayed and left it, and you're getting all these nice crisp edges and diffused areas as well. I've put rather a lot of water on here, but you can soon get rid of some of that. So I think one of my favourite techniques with this really is getting them layered up. And then revealing that colour again from underneath, drawing into the wax there. It's not done it just as well that time. I think maybe I went on too heavy with that red. But there you can see. You can pull some of those layers back. And there where it's really wet you can have a bit of fun manipulating it. So there's going to be all sorts of things you can do with this these art bars, lots of different techniques, and it's something that I'm going to have a bit of a play with over the next few weeks and get used to using. I think I'm going to quite like mixing the colours on the paper. I like some of these colours that are coming out. Obviously I've not looked at all the colours, and I'm presuming actually one thing you could do as well, let's just get a darker colour, is to just get some water on your brush and use them like a paint. Which yes you can, and you get quite a nice wash there, quite a nice even wash I would say as well. I think these are going to be easier to get an even wash with than the Inktense actually. I mean obviously you're going to get a different finish, but they seem very nice to paint with. So let's see if we wanted to change some of those colours now. So let's have a look, we've got the blue there, let's try and make that into a green by adding some of the yellow. See how we go, just mixing that with the brush on the paper. Yeah, so that's something else you could do as well, just paint with them straight off the bar. Okay, so if you've got any, let me know how you use them and if you like them or not. If you want to put that in the comments below, it's always helpful for other people to get our ideas and feedback on different products and what applications you can use them for. So I've ended up with a bit of a messy page there, but it's just given me an idea of what I might go on to go and do with them. I'm just wondering whether, because they're waxy, we can use them as a resist underneath other things. I'm not sure, that's perhaps something we'll have a go at another day. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Bye for now, and I shall see you again soon.